Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another competitive guide video where today we're covering Crobat. Now Crobat is actually a fantastic Pokemon. I absolutely love it. It's got a huge speed stat, in fact one of the fastest speeding Pokemon in the game. Speeding is probably not the wrong word, probably the wrong word, but you know, I'm going to stick with it. It is so fast. It has base 90 in its attack, so it can actually hit really hard. It's got quite good coverage there as well. It can be used as a support Pokemon. Actually works really well. Now, before I jump into this video, I would just like to say I am very close to 1,600 subscribers. If you could please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, I really would appreciate it. It would really help me with my growth here as well. And I just appreciate all the support that's going on the channel recently. Like, we have been growing absolutely incredibly quickly, which has been absolutely huge. But yeah, this is the Crobat video, so we'll get back into that. So I've got 4 sets today. The first set is a choice band set. So Crobat, whilst having base 90 attack, having the choice band on top of it does allow you to do a lot more damage to different things. I have gone for inner focus because things like fake out do exist. And obviously the immunity to intimidate that now comes with inner focus is going to be a benefit as well, because there are quite a few intimidate users out there. So Luxray, Staraptor, Gyarados, for 3 of them are just obviously going to cause you problems. You have got Infiltrator as well, which ignores things like Reflect and Light Screen, and even Substitutes, which can actually be really good also. So depending on what you want to go for, you can go for Inner Focus or you can go for Infiltrator. I think I've shown off both of them throughout these sets, but they're both really good abilities. So move-wise, I've got Brave Bird, powerful flying type attack boosted by Stab. It'll hit really hard against the majority of Pokemon. Obviously, there are several Pokemon that are weak to flying type attacks as well. Leech Life, which allows you to get some recovery because you will be end up taking some damage because you're unlikely to OHKO a lot of Mons, but you have got Leech Life there to hit things like Psychic types are super effective damage, Dark types are super effective damage, and Grass types are super effective damage as well, if you don't want to use Brave Bird and the Grass types, obviously. Cross Poison, because it's a strong poison type attack, or a relatively strong poison type attack. I think it's base 70 in its power, and it has a high critical hit ratio and a 10% chance to poison as well, so there are the 2 benefits alongside it. And if you do get a critical hit, obviously if they've been setting up their defenses, that could be really beneficial to you as well. And finally, you've got U-turn. So if you're expecting a switch and you've just switched Crobat in, you can U-turn now, get a little bit of chip damage off, break any sashes, and move into another Pokemon to get the upper hand. Because obviously, if they've just switched, they're not going to be able to use a move that turn. So U-turn on Crobat is a really solid option. I know what I normally do with my U-turn Mons. I lead with one of them so I can get the choice of whether I'm going to go for a large damage output or I'm going to U-turn turn 1 into a different Pokemon to try and get the upper hand, especially if they're going to try and switch. Moving on to, stat-wise, we have got max attack, max speed with a Jolly Nature, so more speed, less special attack. The Jolly Nature just makes sure that you outspeed basically everything that isn't a Scarf, because honestly it's going to be huge. And then you've got a lot of Pokemon that are like base 70 to base 80 speed, which even with a Choice Scarf you still outspeed them, so there's obviously still the benefit of that, which can work really nicely in your favour with a plus speed. But if you want to go for the plus attack because you're not too worried, if you're running things like Sticky Webs, then obviously you can go for the plus attack instead and not be too concerned. It's entirely up to you what you decide to go for on that situation. Moving on to the second Crobat, I've gone for Black Sludge on here for some recovery, but you could always go for something like the Life Orb. You could go for a Yachi or a Wakan Berry, or I think it's Payapa Berry. Lots and lots of different options that you've got that you could run on here instead of Black Sludge, but I've just decided to go Black Sludge. Infiltrator is the ability because we're not physical in this situation, we're special, and we don't really need to worry as much about the Intimidate aspect. Move-wise, I've got Nasty Plot, which allows us to double our special attack from 262 to 514, which is 524, sorry, which is absolutely huge and allows you to potentially OHKO a lot of different Pokemon. We've got Sludge Bomb, which is a powerful poison type attack boosted by Stab, chance to poison as well by 30%, and then Air Slash, which also has a chance to flinch. Now, you can run this in multiple different ways to take advantage of the Air Slash if you want to, and I'll talk you through that when I go through the EVs. We've also got Roost to allow you to get a little bit of recovery also, because recovery can be really important in matches and you will be taking some damage at different points depending on how you're running this. So there are a couple of ways of running this. You've got natural speed, which is already faster than the vast majority of Pokemon when they have speed investments. So you could go for a max HP, max special attack situation here with modest nature to allow you to freely set up the nasty plot. You could also run things like Focus Sash and then run max special attack, max speed with either a timid, so more speed, less attack, or the modest with the more special attack, less attack nature. It's entirely up to you at that point. If you're running the speed nature, you definitely can go for Air Slash with a lot of freedom. Obviously, 30% chance to flinch is absolutely incredible, and if you get the flinches, that means that you just get an extra free turn where you're going to hit your opponent and hopefully be able to knock them out if you've set up a nasty plot. But yeah, different ways of running it based on your personal style. Next Crobat we've got is a support Crobat here, and this one is a bit more of a stally one, I will admit, so you might not want to use this as much, but I thought I would show it off anyways. So again, Black Sludge as our healing ability, Infiltrator, because as before, the Intimidate doesn't really matter too much on this set, so the inner focus isn't as big a thing. We've got Toxic, which this is one of the few Pokemon that still has Toxic in the game, so obviously being able to rack up some poison damage on the opposing Pokemon can be absolutely huge for you. Allows it to cause a lot of issues for the opponent's team and forces switches at a certain point as well, and even setup sweepers. They either can set up and then be on the limited timer, or they don't have the opportunity to set up, so really works in benefits for lots of different ways. You've got Protect to allow for another toxic round to go by, which that's where it gets a little bit scummy. You could definitely go for like Cross Poison instead here if you wanted to for another attacking move, but you know, I thought I'd run Scumbag Protect. We've got Roost for some recovery here as well. Again, gives you potentially another turn to allow you to get some recovery and not die essentially. And then finally you have got Aerial Ace. I thought Aerial Ace works nicely, nicer than Brave Bird, because I didn't want to take the damage from the recoil there, but you could run Aerial Ace. Always hits the opponent's Pokemon, so if they're running things like Double Team or like Snow Cloak or something, then you've got an answer to that as well. EV-wise, go for max HP and max speed to allow you to be fast, to be able to get things like the Roost and the Toxic off. We've got for the Jolly Nature, because why not? You want as maximum speed as possible to outspeed everything. And then 4 EVs in the attack, just allowing for that Aerial Ace to do slightly more damage. But you could always put it in defense or special defense. Realistically, one stat doesn't make a huge difference in a lot of scenarios, unless you're in Draft League and doing a very specific calculation, at which point you probably wouldn't be doing the max in either of them. And moving on to the final Crobat, we have got another support one. I actually really like this support Crobat. We've got Tailwind, which allows us to double the speed of our team for 3 turns. Now, this works especially well in doubles, but you can also get the U-turn out onto the next turn to get a slower Pokemon in, so they are fast for a couple of turns, and they can really obliterate some different Pokemon. You've got Defog, which allows you to get rid of any hazards on the field. Now, unfortunately, Heavy Duty Boots doesn't exist, so Stealth Rocks you are going to take a lot of damage from, but that's kind of the best option that I have got for here. Now, Stealth Rocks without the Heavy Duty Boots are going to be very, very common in the meta, so do be cautious of that when you are building your teams. Don't make it too weak to Rock-type attacks, because that will just cause problems with the Stealth Rocks. U-turn, because getting out of there and getting a different Pokemon in after the Tailwind is going to be really beneficial for you, and you can just get a different Pokemon in that's going to be suitable against the Pokemon that you're already against. And then finally Brave Bird, because it's a powerful flying type attack, boosted by Stab. Now obviously hits pretty hard based on what you go for. Now, the investment that this is suggested, I think is completely wrong, so I'm just going to modify that right there. Now, that investment, I don't know what it was going for. I don't know if I put it in or if that was just a Smogon suggestion, but I think I must have been tired. So we're just going to go with this one. We've got max attack, max speed with a Jolly Nature, so more speed, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. I think this works better than anything else. You could go for the max HP instead of the max attack if you wanted to live maybe 1 or 2 more attacks. But yeah, that's up to you. And this works nicely with being able to get a priority Tailwind off if you're planning on going down that turn, or you can get that Defog off before you go down, or you can get that U-turn off before the opponent's able to hit you. So obviously having the max speed there I think is definitely going to be a lot more beneficial than any other situation. Anyways, that's going to be all for Crobat, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.